Okay folks, in this video we are finally going to get into the pen tool. Now the pen tool is arguably the most important tool you will learn in Illustrator. And for this tutorial, if you folks want to follow along, I have an exercise that you folks can download in the download section of the class website. So if you go into the Illustrator tab and scroll down until you get to the download section, click on the pen and transformation and pen.zip file, unzip it, and you get this file folder with 3 files inside: the Coke GIF, pen tool exercise, and transforming bear. For today's video we are going to be using the pen tool exercise, so double click on that to launch it in Illustrator. I'm going to hit Command 0 to fit the entire document, Control 0 for you folks on the PC. That'll fit the whole document into view. So we're going to go through all the exercises in this video today. Now we're going to start off with the straight lines exercise up here. So I'm going to hit Command plus, Control plus for you PC folks, Command plus on the Mac, and then hold down the space bar and left mouse click and drag to move your document around into view. So we're going to start off with the straight lines exercise. If you notice at the top there's a little legend that shows the different states of your cursor. You can see my cursor right here. Probably the only difference right now, or change, is the starting a new path. If you notice, if you zoom in here, if you folks are following along on your own downloaded exercise, you guys could see, but there's an X here when you're starting a new path. For Illustrator 2019 version, as you can see by my cursor here, it's been changed to an asterisk. Okay, asterisk or star, if you will, no longer an X, so just disregard that. Let me hit Command minus to zoom out. Okay, so we're going to start off with the straight lines exercise, but before we do, I quickly wanted to show you or do a quick review of what I did in the previous selection tool tutorial I did a couple of videos ago, and that is the definition of a path, which basically is the what Illustrator is focused around. And a path is simply, let me draw it out for you right now. A path is simply anchor points, 2 anchor points, and a path, a line connecting the 2 anchor points together. Okay? And there's 2 types of paths: an open-ended path or open path, and a closed path. Okay? This is an open path. It's called an open path because these 2 anchor points aren't connected other than through this one path line here. To better illustrate this, let me go ahead and do something really quick. I'll explain what I'm doing with the colors in just a second, but let me go ahead and make a closed path now. I'm going to make a triangle. This is a closed path. Closed because there are no open ends, no open-ended lines. It's one encased shape. So that's a closed path. This here is an open path because it's not enclosing or closed off by any means. So those are the 2 types of paths in Illustrator: open path like this, or the closed path like the triangle. Now it doesn't have to be a straight line path. You can have uh, a curve path, oop, like so. Because these two anchor points aren't connected, this is considered an open path. Now, if I was to go here and connect the line, now that's a closed path. Okay, so hopefully through these two quick examples, I was able to show you folks the difference between an open path and closed path. And what a path is basically two anchor points with a path line in between of them. Now that we got that out of the way, let's jump into using paths to create shapes. So before we start with this, I wanted to show you folks the colors here. I'll probably go into this in another video more in depth, but basically when you're drawing out shapes in Illustrator, you have the stroke line color, which can be changed by choosing any color you wish, and this will color your line or your path line. This back color here, if you click on it, this is your fill color. Every time you close off a shape or make it into a closed shape path, Illustrator will automatically fill it with a color. In this case, it's white. Okay. Now for our exercises, we don't want any color in the fill color area. Let me just demonstrate what it would look like. So I'm going to use green. By the way, if you folks don't have swatches up and you guys wanted to get the swatches up, just come up to Window, down to Swatches, click on that, and you can put your swatches panel wherever you want. I usually tend to put it up at the top here. Click on the fill. You can click on either box to bring it to the forefront, or you can use this arrow. What this arrow does is it swaps the color, whatever active color in between. So if you want the green to be a green line and you want the fill to be black, you can click this double-sided arrow in the corner to switch the colors. Okay. Now if you don't, or let me go ahead and quickly draw a shape here. Now if you just got a regular path here, you won't see the fill color. So if it's a straight line path, but once you start to close it off, that's when you see the color. Okay. So only on straight line paths you probably won't see any fill color, but if you had a curve open-ended path like so, you see the color. Okay, so a path doesn't necessarily have to be closed off in order for you to see the fill color, which in our case is green right now. You folks didn't see any fill color earlier because the fill color was white, and of course this background is white, so it blended right in. Now for our exercises, while we're doing this, we don't want any fill color. So what we'll do is select the fill color icon here to bring it to the front. Then we're gonna, you see this white box with the red line? That's a no color. That's to indicate no color. In a swatches box, that's represented by this box up here in the upper left hand corner, or if you have the color tab open, you have that right here as well. So 3 different places. Make sure your fill icon is over your stroke icon here, and click that no color box so that's showing up here. Now if you folks don't want black as your line color, you can always change the color of your line if you want. So click on this line box, I guess, icon to bring it to the forefront. Then regardless if you're on color or swatches, you can choose any color for your line. I'm going to go with magenta here. So you can see right now magenta is my path color or line color, and I have no fill color indicated by that. Okay, so Drawing out shapes is kind of similar to, if you folks recall in Photoshop, the polygonal lasso tool. You have to left mouse click every time you wanted to lay down a point. And it's the same concept here in Illustrator. So if you want to lay down an anchor point, and it's kind of convenient here because all of the points are already visually laid out for us and numbered, so we know what order to go in. So just put your cursor somewhere in the middle of the dot there. Click left mouse click once, and you notice I lay down an anchor point, and now I have a path coming out of it. I can move my cursor whichever direction I want to. What I want to do is go down to number 2 dot and left mouse click again. Now I have a path. It's an open-ended path right now, but we're going to go all the way around and close it off. And as you can see, it's magenta. You also see that blue line. That's just a visual indicator of the path line. Once you click away from this, after you close off the path, that blue line will disappear. So let's continue on. Left mouse click in each of the circles. Take your time and don't worry about getting super accurate. As you can see here, I kind of went just right to the outside of that circle. Don't worry about being accurate right now. Just get the hang of laying down anchor points to make your shape. And once you get to 10, come right back to number 1 here. Now before I close off the path, remember, just like with the lasso tool in Photoshop, once you come to the last anchor point or the starting point, you notice how next to my cursor there's going to be a little circle that appears. That's the indicator that lets you know if you click right now, you can close off your path. And that's it. Now if I use my direct select tool or the black arrow and click away, as you can see, the blue line that was on the inside of the magenta is now gone. And all I have is my magenta star, I guess you could say. So feel free to practice that as much times as you want. But we're going to move on. By the way, the hotkey for your pen tool is the letter P for pen. So the selection tool, which is the black arrow, hotkey is V for victory. And if you want the white arrow or the direct select tool, the hotkey for that is A. Okay, so I'm going to hit P for pen, and we're going to move on to the next exercise. So that'll be to the right. I'm just holding my space bar, left mouse click and dragging. Now we're going to deal with curved lines. It's a little bit more complicated. The first one was a little bit easier. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to lay down an anchor point, but instead of just clicking once with my left mouse button, I'm going to click and hold down my left mouse button and drag my cursor until I get to number 2 from number 1. Then I'm going to release. So let me go through that one more time. You're going to left mouse click and hold it down. So left mouse click, hold, drag to number 2. And once you see the handle here, so I created an anchor point with handles. Once this circle here at the end of the handle reaches the inside of the next dot, the gray dot, then you let go. And that's how you create a Bezier curve. That's what these curves are called, Bezier curves. Okay, so let's try that again with number 3 and 4. Left mouse click and hold down left mouse button and drag to number 4. Once that dot reaches the second gray dot down here, you let go. And now you have a clean arc, I guess you could say, or curve. So we're going to come down here to number 5, left mouse click and hold. Now drag your cursor to this dot right here, let go. Left mouse click and hold, drag to that dot, let go. And we're going to do it once more to close it off. So left mouse click, drag, and hold, let go. And there, that's it. You created a circle. Okay? So that's for curved lines. Now, I'm moving through these fairly quickly, but what I want you folks to do is possibly go over each of these exercises maybe 4 or 5 times each. Seems like a lot, and it will take some time, but it will allow you to grasp the concept a little bit more. So after each of these exercises, how's about you folks pause the video and go through the same exercise multiple times. Now if you folks want to delete the line that you just drew, all you have to do is get your selection tool, the black arrow tool. Remember, V is the hotkey for your selection tool. Whether you're on a PC or Mac, you notice it's selected right now. All you have to do is, after you hit V and the lines are selected, all you have to do is hit delete if you're on a Mac, or backspace if you're on a keyboard. One more time, and that deletes the lines. And then hit P again for pen, and you get to draw it out again. Left mouse click, hold. Left mouse click, hold. Left mouse click, hold, and drag, of course. Left mouse click, hold, and drag. And then left mouse click, hold, and drag. Alright, so go through that about 4 or 5 times. Remember, if you want to delete, select the black arrow tool. All you have to do is select it. Then it already selects your curved line, and hit delete twice, or backspace twice, and you'll be able to delete out. Or you could just do Command Z, but you're gonna have to click it about 5 times or so. To undo the undo, you hold out Command Shift Z, Control Shift Z on your PC keyboards or PC computers. Alright, let me hit P for pen, and let's go down to the next exercise. Now we're dealing with multiple curves. Okay, so the way to do this is, what we're going to do is we're going to click and hold down the Shift key. Okay, so click and hold down your left mouse button. Don't release it yet. Okay, so left mouse click and hold. Now hold down the Shift key. Now drag your cursor up until the dot of the handle here reaches the second gray circle, and now you release. Okay, come to number 3 here. Left mouse click and hold. Now hold down the Shift key. Now drag until the little blue dot of the handle reaches the number 4. Release. Number 5, left mouse click and hold down. Now hold down the Shift key and drag your cursor. until you get to number 6. Let go. And then coming to number 7, left mouse click and hold down. Shift, hold down, drag to number 8. Now to end the curve, hit escape on your keyboard, and it's the same on a Mac or PC. Hit escape, and that pretty much ends the line. Okay, so the real trick, let me undo. The real trick is getting into the habit of left mouse click and holding down the left mouse button, then holding down the shift key, and then dragging. So it's a 3-step process, right? You left mouse click and hold down the left mouse button. That's step 1. Step 2 is you hold down the shift key, and step 3 is dragging the cursor down so that the handle here, the blue dot at the end of the handle, is in the gray circle. So 3 steps, right? Left mouse click and hold down the left mouse button, hold down the shift key, step 2. Step 3 is dragging your cursor. Step 1, left mouse click and hold. Step 2, hold down shift. Step 3, drag your cursor. Let go. Then so you don't have this little trailing line anymore. You're done with creating your line. Hit the escape key. Same on the Mac or PC, and it ends off. Now this is an open path right here. Why? Because these two, the last anchor point and the first anchor point, aren't connected. So it's an open path. Okay. So go ahead and practice that. That might have been a little bit confusing for you folks. So you guys may want to run through this particular exercise a number of times, several times. Once you're comfortable with that, feel free to move on in a video. Now this one is going to be a little bit more tricky. Curves with corner points. Okay. So what we're going to do here is, if you read off the instructions, click and press here, hold down shift key, drag to here. So it's basically the same thing we did in a previous exercise. So you're going to left mouse click and hold down, step 1. Step 2 is to hold down the shift key. Then step 3 is to drag the line all the way down, like so. Now for step 3, click here and release. So remember, up until now we've been doing left mouse click and hold. What we're going to do on this one here, click here and release. So all you're going to do is click once, left mouse click once and release. And then you're going to left mouse click again and hold down this time and drag to here. Okay, so I'm going to click on here and drag down to here. Okay, let me do that again. I started for the first one. So the first one is the 3-step that we've been doing all this time. Left mouse click and hold down shift, drag. For this next step though, we're going to left mouse click and release. So left mouse click and release. Click on the same spot again and then hold this time and drag and release down there. Did you get that? And let me back up. So after you create this anchor point, come up here, left mouse click, release. Now you're going to left mouse click and hold and then drag downwards and release. Coming up here, left mouse click and release. Click and left mouse click and hold this time and drag. Left mouse click and release. left mouse click and hold and drag, and then hit escape to end off the line. So this one might be a little bit more confusing for you folks, right? So you may want to take several attempts at practicing this. So let me go through it just one more time. So for the initial one, we're going to left mouse click and hold and drag, then release. Now for the next three, we're going to left mouse click and release. So left mouse click and release. Then we're going to click on the same spot again, but hold down the left mouse button this time and drag. So left mouse click, hold, and drag. Left mouse click, hold, and drag. Oh, see, even I made a mistake on that one. Left mouse click once. Now on a second left mouse click, you hold and drag. So you're basically clicking twice, yeah? The first time you're letting go. Then on the second time, you're left mouse clicking and holding and then dragging. See folks, and then hit escape to end off the line. Even I make mistakes. I forget quite a bit as well, so don't feel too bad. And I have a lot of experience with Illustrator, and even I forget from time to time. So yes folks, it is frustrating. I feel your pain, because I had to go through the same learning process as what you folks are doing now. And believe me, I did the same exercise when I was a student, and it took me forever. So don't feel bad if you folks are going through these exercises and you're not catching on right away. It took me quite a bit of attempts. I practiced for hours before I finally started to get the hang of it. So I don't, unless you folks are prodigies or geniuses, I don't expect you folks to get it right away either. Which is why I say you folks gotta put in some time to learn this tool. Okay, so next up, let's keep moving on. Curves with corner points. Okay, so we're gonna click and press here. When it says click and press here, basically it means left mouse click and hold it down. Instead of left mouse click and release, you're left mouse clicking and holding down and dragging to here to release. Okay. Then for number 3, it says click and press here. Basically means left mouse click and hold and then drag to here. Now for number 5, it says hold down Alt Option and then hold down Alt and Option. It's it got cut off down here. So what we're gonna do is hold down, if you're on a PC, it's gonna be Alt. If you're on the Mac, it's gonna be Option. So you're gonna hold down Alt, and you notice how my cursor changes when I hold down the Option or Alt key. You're gonna swing the handle up to number 6 and then release. Now when you go to number 7, you notice there's no line down here anymore. Okay, basically what we did was we broke the path or the curve. If we had kept going down here, then the curve would have continued. Let me just show you. So if we click like this and continued on, you see how the curve would have been going this way. What we want to do is make the curve go the opposite way. So what we got to do is break the curve or break the handle and bring the handle back up here. So to do that, we hold down Option or Alt, grab this handle and swing it up there, let go, and now we can continue on. So left mouse click, hold, and drag. Now hold down the Option key, grab that handle, and swing it up to that dot. Let go. Okay. By the way, once you swing the handle up to here, let go of your Option key or Alt key, okay? Don't keep pressing it down. The only time you need to press down or hold down your Alt or Option key is when you're moving the handle from here to here. Once that's done, let go of the Alt or Option key. So left mouse click, hold, drag. You can let go. Now press and hold down the Option or Alt key, click on the handle. Oop, I missed the handle. Make sure as you're holding down the Alt or Option key, you firmly grasp the handle and you move it up to the other dot, and then let go of Alt or Option as well as the left mouse button. I made a little bit of a mistake there. Let me back up. Left mouse click and hold, drag and release. Hold down the Option or Alt key and drag that handle up to this dot, let go, and then come to the last number 15 here. Click, left mouse click, hold, and drag down to there. And of course, to end it off, hit escape. Okay, so that's probably going to take you folks quite a while to go through. This one, that's going to be that's going to take you folks a while. Click and hold down the Shift key. So we're going to left mouse click and hold down the left mouse button. So left mouse click, hold down the Shift key, number 2, and number 3, drag to here. Let me go through that one more time with you folks. Left mouse click and hold down. That's step 1. Step 2, hold down the Shift key. Step 3, drag until you reach this dot. Let go. Now for number 3 is going to be the same thing. Left mouse click and hold. That's step 1. Step 2, hold down the Shift key. Step 3, drag to here. Number 4. And then let go. So for number 5, it just says click. You guys can't do that because you see how my blue line is right now. If I click right now, it's going to create a line like that, right? So the instructions here are kind of cut off. So how do we get rid of that? Well, what we want to do is left mouse click and hold and drag, hold down Shift and drag. Now when we're coming up here, in order to make the line that's going to go from here to here straight, more than likely what we're going to have to do is hold down the Option key and slide this handle, grab and hold and slide this handle and bring it to here, number 6. Okay, we still didn't create that line yet. After we bring the handle up to number 6, then we're going to click on number 6, left mouse click. Now we have that line. Okay, so let me repeat that. So coming to number 3 from number 1, left mouse click, hold and drag while you're holding down Shift. Let go. Now hold down the Option key, grab this handle and bring it up to where number 6 is. Let go. Now we're going to left mouse click on where 6 is, but as you can see, click, release, press the anchor point, hold down the Shift key. So we're going to click once, release, yeah, Now we're going to click on it again, but this time we're going to hold down the left mouse button while we click. Now hold down the shift key, step 2, and then drag to 7. And then let go. Now if we come to number 8, we're going to step 1, left mouse click and hold. Step 2, hold down the shift key. Step 3, drag up to 9. And then release. And what we got to do is you got to bring this handle in line with this. So you're going to have to hold down the option key, grab that dot up there, and swing it down to 11. So release. Now click on 11 once. Now click on it again, but this time hold down the left mouse button, hold down the shift key, step 2, and then step 3, drag up to 12. Release. Now if you come down to 13, left mouse click and hold, step 1, step 2, hold down the shift key, and step 3, drag to 14. Okay, then hit escape to end it off. Hard, huh? I know, folks. It's pretty difficult to get all, pretty difficult to get it down in the beginning. So I'm sure a lot of you folks are wishing at this point that we were still just doing stars, huh? That was easy. So this is a lot more harder, and the ultimate one here, let me hit command minus, is this guy right here. Okay, so this one, it's up to you folks if you want to go through this one. To me, this is a little bit more complicated than what I would normally do. I mean, I could create this shape almost exactly without using these methods here, So it's really how you want to draw out your shapes and whatnot. So this is basically the shape it's trying to create right now. Something like that. But I'll let you folks, go ahead and do this particular shape right here. I've already gone through 6 exercises with you folks, and this video is getting pretty long already, so go ahead and practice through these shapes. And remember, you guys got to go through these practices quite a bit really to get a hold or the concept of the pen tool down. So go ahead and do that. Keep practicing all week long, and by the end of the week you folks should be able to get the gist of the pen tool down. One last quick thing before we leave. If you are drawing a shape out or a path and you want to make a straight line, so say you lay down your first anchor point and you want to make a straight line down, normally it's fairly easy to do in Illustrator to make a straight line. But if you want to be guaranteed to make a straight line, you want it to be guaranteed, as you move to make your second, as you move your cursor to make your second anchor point, hold down the shift key. Okay, that'll guarantee that your line that you're creating is straight. And you can keep holding down your shift key to make a straight line. Okay, so that wasn't too straight, but you guys get the gist. Hold down the shift key to make a straight line. If you're gonna do angles, angled line, and you're holding down the shift key, uh, Illustrator lets you move the line in 45-degree angles. Okay, so just keep that in mind. If you want to make straight angled lines and you're holding down the shift key, you have 45-degree increments that Illustrator will move in if you're holding down the shift key. Alright folks, so I just wanted to add that on before I end the video. Other than that, good luck with the practice exercises, and if you folks have any questions, feel free to email me.